I saw a clip where you sued HBO.
Yeah.
For
stealing my name.
Yes.
Yeah.
What can you explain that to me, because I'm a huge Entourage fan, so is Fran.
Well, yes, I will.
Explain, like, when was was there a real crossover? Like, I was trying to figure out the timeline in my head.
There wasn't a crossover. Here's listen.
Well, you did it years later, right?
No.
Oh no, it was
right after. Here's the problem.
Okay.
I waited a little bit too long to file my suit.
Okay.
But you were
For
Johnny
defamation.
Bananas.
Yes.
Like, yes, because that's what I'm thinking of. Like, you were established Johnny Bananas.
100%.
And then
I was using the nickname Johnny Bananas way before Entourage even existed as a show. All right. So I don't know what it was. Season 5. It was actually the last season they did of Entourage.
Season 8.
Season 8.
She knows the
Johnny
exact
Drama
episode.
got a spin-off show or a character that they started calling Johnny Bananas,
Yes.
the cartoon monkey.
Yes. With Andrew Dice Clay.
Yes, exactly. And a friend of mine, Leonard, who at the time was in law school, listen, in interest of full disclosure,
Leonard's fault.
in interest of full disclosure, I didn't watch Entourage back in the day.
Yeah.
I didn't. You know why? Because like I grew up in Southern California. I was in LA a lot, and like that group of guys reminded me of every like douchebag group of like Hollywood fucking assholes that were like in that scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And listen, I understand these guys are all like playing a role, and since then, like I've obviously, met a lot of them, and we're chill. I mean, I actually did a golf tournament with Johnny Drama. So we're cool, I think. But so my friend Leonard hits me up and goes, dude, they're using your name on Entourage. He goes, you could sue for defamation. And he's like, I'm learning about this in law school right now.
Oh my God.
He's like,
this was Leonard's big break.
Yeah, it was. Well,
Defamation, though.
He goes,
it wasn't like they were. Well, continue.
Yes.
So he goes, let me put you in touch with this attorney named Stephanie Ovadier, who actually represented Lindsay Lohan in an E-Trade suit.
Oh.
Do you remember years ago there was the E-Trade commercials with the babies?
Yeah.
And do you remember there was a one where the baby is like, oh, that's my Lindsay, the milkaholic, implying that Lindsay was the blonde baby, and she pops out and spills a bunch of milk. Lindsay Lohan actually sued E-Trade for defamation of character, saying that Lindsay is as synonymous with Lindsay Lohan as like Madonna is with Madonna.
Right.
She won like a shit ton of money. So he put me in touch with this.
That one.
Yeah, put me in touch with the same attorney. So she's like, you definitely have a case. We're going to file this, blah, blah, blah. So we filed the suit in New York, which was the big mistake. We should have filed it in LA. We filed it in New York. And basically citing defamation. So the reason it was defamation is because defamation doesn't necessarily mean that you're being like, your character's being insulted.
Yeah.
You could be defamed in other ways. So like this was it's like, say, because at the time I was doing a lot of like appearances, bars, clubs, like whatever. If they advertise Johnny Bananas is going to show up, you're confusing the public. So which Johnny Bananas is going to show up? If I show up, if people are expecting Kevin Dillon. If he shows up, they're expecting me.
Yeah.
So we're like, this has the potential to create confusion.
It has some legs.
Right. Is your name trademarked?
So here's the thing.
I took one entertainment law class.
So here's the thing: is in the public eye, and this is what we sued. It's called the right to publicity. So because I was and still am person most known for the name Johnny Bananas.
Correct. If I heard your real full name, like I would be like, I don't know who that is.
John Amadeus Divanazio.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So in the realm of the entertainment industry and in the public, I basically own that name.
Yeah.
So HBO didn't argue that. They didn't argue any of the merits. They didn't argue defamation, nothing. All that they argued was that the statute of limitations for defamation was 12 months, which it was. And we filed our suit 13 months after. But here's where we got screwed was they argued that it should have been the first time they used it. That's when the clock starts, when they used it.
Yeah.
For the first time. We're arguing like, no, it should have reset every time they used it on the show. So it should have went all the way to the other end of the season, but the judge ruled in their favor, so I got my case thrown out.
Damn. So did they basically admit that they took some...
They didn't have to. They didn't have to, but here's how I know. You want to know how I know? Here's a little tea for you. Mark Wahlberg, who's the executive producer, huge Challenge fan.
Yeah.
Here's how I know this. Diem, love you, D.
Yeah.
She interviewed Mark Wahlberg years ago. This is during she was hosting a show for a while. She interviewed Mark Wahlberg about the challenge. He admitted what a massive challenge fan he was. So you're telling me that in these meetings that they were having, these production meetings, that when the nickname Johnny Bananas was thrown around as Kevin Dillon's, not one person in the room knew that there was already somebody out there by the name Johnny Bananas, especially the executive producer who watches the challenge.
No, I
so.
could see that. I could definitely see. It's a recognizable name.
Yeah.
It is. Well, those guys, they're
Like, I knew
HBO,
the
Mark
names-
Wahlberg, their heads are big enough where they're like, we can do whatever
they're
we
like,
want.
let's just use Johnny Bananas. Perfect nickname. He'll never know.
Yeah.
And also, I knew the name Johnny Bananas before I even watched the challenge because I just feel like your name is just, it's Johnny Bananas. That's not just like a normal
Well, there was
nickname.
There was actually a mobster back in the name named Johnny Bananas.
But you have now
Taking it from
surpassed him.
Yeah. I've probably killed more people than him too.